Hello, beautiful souls. All right, creating content. This is my FreQSpeak video, day 26 of 100 and love. Everyone needs to know that they are loved. That's came out a little bit in the light language I just did. Know that you are loved, know that you are worthy, know that you are sovereign in every now and present moment. Okay, so this is day 26 of 111, sharing my real, raw, authentic frequency and energy with you, the collective. And again, just know these videos are timeless and you will receive whatever you are meant to receive through this video, through this information, through the energy and frequency that I have in my sacred space, sharing that with you, the collective. So hopefully everyone's doing well. It's been a ride. I know it's been a ride. It's been a ride. So again, that's why we're here to share our experiences, because our experiences helps others know that you are not cray cray. I promise you are not crazy. You might feel like you're crazy sometimes. There might be days where you're like, this just makes no sense. Remember, none of this is supposed to make sense. The ego and mind wants everything to make sense, but you gotta quit holding on to the ego mind, the small self, and just surrender and let it go and settle into your true soul's essence, okay? And do the healing work, feel the feels, right? That's why we're here, to feel all the feels, to go through all of the stuff, all of it, no matter what that feels like. 133 on the clock. So some key codes. 133 might be relevant to you. 144, I saw 2244 on a license plate when I went out to the wild to get my soup items for this morning. Guided just to get up and go get that done and then come home and hermit the rest of the day, honoring my rich self and my rich days and my rest and recalibration and integration and all of that. And then driving home, we saw 2244 on the license plate and 4422, the reverse of that on an address. So tea time today. So I'm gonna put my glasses on because these yogi teas have been very in alignment every day with the messages that come through from me for you and other messages that come through others to me. So one who knows how to enjoy life does not need riches. Enjoying life in every now present moment, even though you're not vacationing or doing all of these things that you think is the way to enjoy life. You know, I feel sad for those people that work until they die or work until retirement and they do not enjoy life. They take no vacations. They don't just go do stuff that they love to do. And now more than ever, it's take those rich days. Take that vacation. Go somewhere by yourself if you're called to. Take that class or course if it ignites, excites you, and lights you up, right? That's the point. So one who knows how to enjoy life does not need riches. I feel so rich. I feel so rich. But from the outside looking in, that might not look like that to other people. But I feel so rich internally and then even externally here in my sacred space, for sure. Again, still rocking the sweatshirt. I haven't pulled this out in a few days, so you get me not in my PJs right now, so let me be my weird self in peace. So again, the daisy, the frogs, the mushrooms, the blue, the colors might be relevant as part of your key codes. And again, the beautiful elementals coming in, a little bit of light codes coming in here. The Christmas tree, Miss Joy, the poinsettias, I have a lot of elementals in my space: earth, air, wind, fire, water. I've got candles burning, I've got incense burning, I have diffusers running, I have essential oils, all the plants, all the living beings, and then just my energy and frequency ether, okay? So again, hopefully everyone's doing well. I know each day has been completely different for me in this week of integration, as well, going through this full moon, the super full moon in a portal in Gemini, the mirrors, the duality. Everyone might be experiencing something different. So I had day 1 was pretty good. Day 2 and 3 was like a little rockier. Yesterday was kind of in the middle, some crying, you know, like you're going to express your emotions that need to be released, whether it's yours, the collectives, or ancestral trauma and generational stuff, soul lineage and blood lineage. It's both. If you're here, you're doing both. You're doing the work for the all. So some of you might just feel completely crushed, feel like you've been run over by a spiritual bus. There could be a whole lot going on. Like I said, sleep disturbances, super weird dreams. Keep track of those. I'm going to touch on my weird dreams tonight as part of key codes that dropped in for me that might be relevant for you. I'm guided to share. Thank you, source. And then I'll pull a couple of cards and just talk like I do, just like we're having a conversation in my living space, in my sacred space. having some tea, having your coffee. It's still early enough to have coffee. It's before 11. Again, the schedule's, it's Saturday, or it's this day, that day, and another day. So it's this day, December the 6th, if I hadn't said that, 2025. And remember, you will receive this video in perfect timing. Source in your team will put it in front of your awareness in perfect timing. And then for some reason it comes up in your awareness and it's like, no, this doesn't resonate right now. Maybe I'll save it for later. Check back in a couple of days. And then that now you in a couple of days is going to be ready for whatever information is ready to come through. 533 on the timer. So again, the 111s, the 222s, the 333s, 66 came in this morning. Love, love, love. So I already, again, I don't want to say accidental. My ego wants to say accident. Nothing's accidental. Nothing's coincidental. Okay, our ego wants to think so. It's not. It's all laid out. It's divinely timed. It's perfectly orchestrated, all behind the scenes. But the ego's like, no, that's too crazy. That just makes no sense. Again, things are not supposed to make sense. The more no sense it makes, the more legit it is, the more magical it is. Remember, there's magic all around you all of the time. There's miracles happening all around you all of the time. Guess what? You're magic and you're a miracle. Know that, own it, and embody that. All right? Embody the love. Know that you are loved. Know that you are worthy. Know that you are sovereign. If you need to go do some mirror work, go do some mirror work. Go look at yourself in your birthday suit and directly look into your soul, your eyes, and tell yourself, I am worthy, I am loved, I am whole, I am healthy, I am healed. Whatever words work best for you, okay? So I went out so I slept almost 12 hours while I was in bed. Last night I did more sleeping than waking. I did wake up, but when I woke up, I did a couple of meditations that I thought I was gonna do before bed. I was so exhausted though, I just went to bed. So don't force practices like meditation or breath work. If you're tired, go to sleep. Don't try and stay up and do a meditation. Again, because that wasn't going to excite me or ignite me. Sleeping was what I needed. So I woke up in the middle of the night and listened to a couple of different meditations or light language activations at that time. But again, I was right back to sleep after that. So dreams, a lot of dream scenes last night, really interesting. Just like this is this dream, and this is just dream, and this is dream. So there's some broken glass, so again, associated with that glass that came, what was that mirror? Let me just reference back on what came in a channeled message yesterday. The mirror code activation is what it was. It was the 5th mirror code activation. Mirror protocol codes. So there's a lot of broken glass in one of my dreams. It actually, in my mind's eye, it was beer. It was like a pallet of beer. I don't drink alcohol, but it was the brown glass. That may be relevant for somebody, but it was like a massive, like just liquid water. There was liquid in my dreams last night. A lot of water. Ended up in like a wide, vast, open, oceanic space. There was a shower involved, and just water was involved or liquid was involved. So that might be, again, just the emotional release. Thank you, Source. There's that correlation. So the water signs, the Cancer signs, and the signs associated with water, or if you're dreaming of water, water is very cleansing and healing. I'm going to be taking a sacred bath today, probably earlier this afternoon after I make my soup. Salt, Epsom salts, heavy on the Epsom salts, because we are transmuting, we are releasing, we are cleansing all those debris, those sediment. So that's, thank you, Source. The water, if you're dreaming of water, it's another, if you're crying, like the ugly, like you're just crying, don't attach it to anything. It doesn't have to be because of ABCD. Your soul is releasing, right? It's sacred. Your tears are sacred. Your tears are sacred technology, and they're here to cleanse and purify, and it's your soul releasing. And this full moon is really activated and triggered a lot of that. There's different phases where different moon cycles where I'm purging a lot more in the sense of crying or draining. That drainage, like I said, I have had a lot of sinus drainage. I had a little bit of a scratchy throat this morning from that sinus drainage. So you might be experiencing that, those cold and flu symptoms. Your body is purging, it's detoxing, and it can look many different ways. on that. Okay, so that might be, if you're dreaming more of water, that might be that cleansing and purging again. So if you're meditating, maybe take yourself to the ocean or a lake or a river, and or take a sacred bath or take a sacred shower. Set intention that you connect with the elements and ask for assistance to help you just continue to release and release. Okay, so that's, if that is the first time you've heard of that, that may be relevant. Okay, 1022 on the timer. And then make sure you stay hydrated. I cannot stay hydrated enough. I eat a lot of juicy fruit. I drink tea. I drink lots of water with salt in it, and I'm still finding myself being very dry and dehydrated. Again, it's part of this purging process, okay? So don't freak out. Again, I'm going to always set that disclaimer. If you feel like you need to see your physician, go see them. But just know that this is, you know, this is it. Settle into it. If you're sick, your body's telling you something, your soul's trying to tell you something. To slow down, to honor what you are experiencing and what you are going through. Okay, so like I said, I got up. I probably, if I laid into bed, I probably could have just laid there and maybe fell back asleep. But again, I was in bed almost 12 hours. Like I said, I literally crawled into bed, like stumbled into bed. I was so exhausted after pretty much not doing a whole lot yesterday, because that's currently the amount of nervous system healing I've had to do. If you have the time and space, you need to allow it. And I mentioned this in my video yesterday, and I've mentioned this to my mentor, you know, a few months ago, that I had this aha moment, this realization that if I have had to spend a year or so to heal a nervous system that's fragmented and fried from not just this lifetime, but many lifetimes, then that's like a drop in the bucket. Literally, in the vastness of the quantum, in the universe, that is literally like a drop in the bucket, if that, okay? So yes, sometimes some of us, it's like we're healing lifetimes of dysregulation of the nervous system. And if you have a dysregulated and a nervous system, a fried and frazzled nervous system, you are not going to be able to completely embody and integrate everything that you're receiving from the downloads, from the light codes, from the solar flares, from these portals and these activations that we're moving through right now. What's going to happen, and you hear other creators, other people that channel information, that the more you avoid that or try to run away from that or numb that and suppress it, the more uncomfortable you're going to get. And that could look in many ways, shapes, and forms, but the biggest one that comes to mind is disease in your body. You're going to start creating massive dis-ease in your body, and mild disease and mild inflammation up into like massive, I've got chronic pain, I've got this cancer, I've got this heart problem, I've got this lymph problem, whatever it is. All right, that's your body's talking to you, your soul's trying to communicate with you, but you're just completely like, no. How low does it have to get? How far down the hole do you have to go before you wake up and listen, wake up and see, wake up and feel? Thank you, Source. All right, sometimes some of these messages just come as matter of fact, okay? And that's love, gentle, but firm. It's love, it's all love, but it's gentle and it's firm. Okay, so hopefully that resonates with some of y'all. Remember, you're not falling apart. You might feel like you're falling apart, and believe me, I swear, in this journey, there are many times over the years, and especially this past few years, it has felt like that I've completely been falling apart. But remember, that old version, or the old version you thought, that has to crumble, it has to go. It's like that tower moment. Everything needs to be cleared. It's like what did I hear in a channeled message? It's a controlled demolition. Thank you, Source. It's controlled demolition. Controlled demolition. Remember, you are not falling apart. You are falling in place. But again, sometimes in that falling apart where you feel like that your mind feels like you're just falling apart into nothingness, you are actually falling into place. You're falling into your truer self, into your true soul's essence, into your true soul's purpose. Thank you. And my sinuses, I apologize. Like I said, still lots of drainage. And again, that's just detox. I honor that. I know what that is. I know I don't have a cold. I know none of that. Hip pain. So I'm guided to also talk about the pains that you might be feeling in your body, whether it's hip pain or shoulder pain or And whether it's chronic, if it's chronic, we know you're avoiding something. You're avoiding the healing work. Like, I know people that have serious pain in their body, and it's not getting any better with all the traditional ways that we treat things here, and not willing to, like, even if you were to do Eastern practices, you're all into Western practices, and that's not doing it for you. It's because it goes deeper than surface level. It goes deeper than what they're able to tell you. And even if you go into more herbalistic, more energetic work that's going to help you release the trauma, the hurt, the pain, whatever you're avoiding, okay? Let's say you had a severe car accident many years ago. Let's say you almost died. You have all of that trauma holding into your body. Yes, you healed from it, you survived it, but now 50 years later or 30 years later, now you've got chronic pain in your body because you've buried and suppressed something from that accident that you've been avoiding your whole life. Now that's that buildup. And now you have to do the work to do the healing work. That's why Western medicine's not going to help you. That's where the Eastern medicine, we're going into the herbs, going into the energy work, going into the meditation, doing the Reiki, doing some sound bath therapy, sound bed therapy, sound bath therapy, working with practitioners that use Reiki and light language. And I think that's kind of like my intertwine, is using Reiki energy practice with the light language. Okay, confirmation. That was a whole full body chill, probably from my shoulders down my leg. That's my divine feminine side, is a confirmation. All right. So doing the work, okay? And yes, remember, you are not falling apart, you are falling into place. I love the broken record analogy. You'll hear me say simple, if you've worked with me enough, or if people work, I'll say things, but they might come out differently because I'm receiving information as a form of a verbal channel of higher consciousness, of my super conscious self, of source. Okay, so when you express your authentic self in all the ways, so when you express yourself authentic, your authentic self in all the ways that you give, okay, sorry, I'm finding the words to what I want to come out. So when you express your authentic self, and you stand in your sovereign being, no matter how weird or crazy it might seem to the outside people looking in, when you do that, you give others around you permission to feel safe, to be able to express themselves in the same way. You normalize what society has conditioned and programmed you to think that was crazy or weird or conspiracy or any other stuff, okay? I'll use this as an example. Again, with the light language, it'll come out when wants to come out. So there was, I don't know, a month ago, I was in Myers and light language was being expressed through me. The past version of me would have tried to hold that back and think, oh no, they're going to think I'm weird. They're going to think I'm crazy. They're going to think I'm mental or whatever. I don't give an F. So by me just standing in my authentic self and allowing that to be expressed through me, I'm standing in my sovereign authentic self and giving others permission around me that might be experiencing that or seeing that to normalize it, because that's the new norm. It's common. Or dancing or being weird in the gym and clapping or singing or just expressing my energy in a loud way, not with words necessarily, but just expressing my body language and my energy field loudly. I've had people come up to me and say, thank you. I needed just to experience that. It made me laugh. It made me smile. So again, being that person that allows others, giving the other people that come in your field to feel safe enough to express themselves, to express those authentic parts of themselves that they have completely buried since probably they were little people, right? Okay. So we lead through being vulnerable, right? That lobster outgrowing its shell, breaking open its shell and being open and raw and vulnerable. So by us doing that, it gives again that permission for others around us to feel safe and to be able to continue to heal and express themselves in their own unique, authentic self. 1919 on the timer. All right. So that's what I got this morning. It was like just a little bit from my understanding of a message I was listening to. So I got up and went to the store and got stuff for soup. So again, this is a great time for a lot of reasons to make homemade soups, especially using vegetables root vegetables like sweet potato, carrots. If you can tolerate potato, go right at it. And again, all thing organic if you can. If not, don't fret about it. Just bless and wash your food as much as possible. I've gotten to the point where I don't get too frantic about organic or not organic, but again, I've always put my buck towards the higher quality products and less foods that contain herbicides, pesticides, and fungicides, because that shit's, the more you reduce your toxic load, the better it is when you're going through this, because the detox process is going to be smoother. Excuse me. So the smoother the detox is, the more ease there is during this transition. So the soup today has been a pretty basic. I have a big stainless steel pot. Mushrooms, sweet potato. I use garlic powder, onion powder. Today I bought a big onion because I didn't have, usually I use an onion and then green onion, but they didn't have any green onions. And so when you're feeling under the weather or you're needing to purge or help support your body and hydrate your body and nourish your body, onions and garlic are really good if you have no aversions or allergies to those. So onion powder, garlic powder, and then onions and garlics, carrots, celery, sweet potato, mushrooms, and then I use salt, lots of salt, and I use the Redmond's Real Salt seasoning. So it's basically just seasoning with different herbs in there. And then again, you can, and parsley, thank you. And parsley is like it's an herb. Again, parsley is great for heavy metals, chelating, and cilantro is also well, but I don't like cilantro in my soup, so I like parsley better. And I just boil that until it's digest. I don't like hard vegetables in my soup. I like easy to digest. And so I will cook it through well, and I'll blend part of it and then return it to make it a little more creamier, but it's, again, mostly, it is a very broth-based soup. So, and then if you want to, if you're still not having any aversions to meat at this point, so don't be surprised if you start having aversions to foods, especially the overly ultra-processed Franken foods. Your body's telling you, you can't do this anymore. The other, so you'll go in phases and stages, consciously or unconsciously, or become averted to red meat, and then you'll get aversions to white meat and fish and dairy. So there'll be stages that you'll go through, whether you realize it or not, unconsciously, if you're not forcing yourself to do a protocol of eating a certain way, just honoring your body and what it needs. So there are some days where I eat more, and there are some days where I eat less. Like, again, coming from the background that I come from in the health and wellness industry and nutrition, that was one of the hardest things to let go control of, is the tracking in the needing a certain amount of carbs or fats or proteins, or all of that noise that was keeping me wrapped up in that paradigm, in that duality. So now I just honor and eat what I feel called to, and I will probably do a live video, maybe today, maybe tomorrow, maybe sometime soon. I keep saying that, but I'm not going to force the live video, and I will do it on YouTube because it'll reach more people, on my transition process, not just in this year, which I've touched base on, but over the years, on my protocols. And the protocols I was chasing, and again, I was chasing them, but my soul and my body were also, it was part of the school, the learning, the going through it myself, so I can help with other people's skin, having those experiences, going through that, so I can help others as well in where they're at in this now present moment, and using food during this healing process, during this awakening process, because it's very supportive. It's connecting with Gaia. We are Gaia. We are her keepers. We are here symbolic and exchanging and understanding that if there's volcanic eruptions, if she's going through different purges herself, we are affected by that as well. As above, so below. We are affected from that, okay? If you heard that for the first time, there you go, okay? So is there anything else, source, that I need to touch base on? So again, grounding is super important, and then resting. So going out and getting the stuff for my soup, and then just knowing, not waiting, because I can go out into the wild, get my stuff, come home, and hermit the rest of the day. So my partner gave me a call When I got home, we chit-chatted for a little bit, and so what you gonna do the other? So I'm gonna make some soup, and I'm gonna probably take a salt bath, a sacred bath, and I'm gonna hermit the rest of the day. So I probably will not leave the space at all today. And tomorrow is always up in the air. I live each day as my higher self, as my super conscious self, going with the flow. All right, going with the flow, whether I'm guided to get up and go to the store now versus getting up, doing a few things, and going to the store later. Do you see where I'm coming on that? And I've talked about just going with the flow and how I've embodied that type of lifestyle definitely in the past, I don't know, I lose track of time. Like, I know it's like December. If we were to say 6 months, and maybe even it started sooner, but definitely just constantly just going with the flow, pausing and taking my time and resting. And again, you're going to keep continuing to heal that. Your nervous system needs to heal. Your nervous system can't heal if you're constantly chasing things down, doing the hustle, doing the bustle, whatever that is. You're frazzled and fried, and you're like, blah. You need to slow down, and you need to find ways in your life with your time and space and find ways to honor that. And I get everyone's life different. Some people are still doing the 9 to 5. If that excites you, ignites you, and expands you, great, you're meant to be there. If that job is starting to weigh you down, feel heavy, feel constricting and constraining and core causing health problems, that's a sign that you may need to figure it out and step out. And just know that you're going to always be supported. And the ego and the mind are going to freak out and say, no, you can't leave this job because you can't do this or you can't do that, and you're not going to be able to pay for this or do. We got to let that go. And I get that's one of the hardest things to let go. I really understand that. But just know that you are always taken care of. You are always abundant and you're always taken care of. And again, it's not always in the way you think it should be, but it's in the way that it's supposed to be for that now present moment. Source has got your back. Your team has got your back, okay? But in that lesson, you're also, part of that is getting you to let go and to heal that lack mentality, that not having enough mentality, because that's generationally programmed and conditioned. For sure, I've touched on that in other videos. That's definitely deep embedded, and we need to move away from that conditioning, okay? All right, is there anything else, Source? So yeah, just sacred grounding baths, grounding, okay, I'm gonna, words. So I've got moon water here. I'm gonna show that to you. So every full moon, I try to make some moon water. So this is a honey jar I got from somebody I dated in the past. They used to get honey from a local person. Actually, I still have that. Didn't realize that. So I don't know if this is just over a gallon. It's 12 pounds. And so what I do is I try to remember to make moon water. The kiddo helps me remember. So this is full moon, super full moon water. So I'll probably have this today. I'll probably keep it out. I'll refill it. And we'll use this. And I put salt in there. Then I put extra salt in there. So on this, it's got hearts. So you bless your water. So I bless my water. I set intentions into my water because we know the power of that. And then also with this round, with the light language coming through, I've got some light language on here as well. Okay, so I've got that sitting. And again, even if the moon's not shining in the house, it's still in a position that I know where the sun's energy is coming into my space. It comes in through this area. Okay, so moon water, teas, herbs. Thank you, Source. So they want me to tell you to maybe sure up on some herbs, maybe adding again more herbs to your soups or your foods, or drinking more herbal teas, things like Tulsi, ashwagandha, holy basil is Tulsi, that helps with their adaptogenics, that helps with that stress, helps you cleanse and detox. Essential oils, cinnamon, clove, ginger, tangerine, citrus oils, lemon oils, again, to boost beverages. And this one is, this is a herbal blend. One is an herbal blend, a yogi vanilla spice, and then it's also another cinnamon spice. And like I said, I put a drop, and don't put it in the water, put it on the tea bag, because you put it in the water, you're gonna burn your mouth. So my hack for this to boost up the anti-inflammatory, the immune boosting essentials of the oil is putting the tea bag. I boost it up in there, and then there's honey. I've already gone through almost a pound of honey this week, so $2.929 on the timer. Which is funny because if you heard my video yesterday, my gas was $29. I got in the car at 2:09. So 2929, which is 1111. Thank you, source. Drop the mic. So get your herbs, and then I've got some stress relief herbs. I've got, like I said, different types of teas. You could do chamomile and just a lemon ginger, and you could zhuzh it up by putting fresh ginger and fresh lemon. You could put lemon oil on your ginger tea bag. So there's all these different ways to use essential oils and herbs to help with the grounding, and also to help nourish the body and cleanse the body and support the body during this time. Peppermint tea is also very good. You could put peppermint oil on the tea bag to help enhance the properties and the benefits that you are receiving from that. And again, using the herbs and the spices, super important. Using mineral drops if you're not using salt, so you may need to increase that. Increase the juicy fruits, the lemons, the oranges, the grapefruits this time of year. I was able to get a watermelon. I don't know how good it's going to be, but if I can't eat it, I'm going to blend it and then drink it. So I'm getting hydration there. So a simple tonic you could make. There's a couple different ways you could do this. If you don't have tea bags, if you have some organic lemon juice, you can get it in the bottle, or if you want to take the time and squeeze some fresh lemons, juice some fresh lemons, boom. But again, to be consistent, if it's easier for you just to get the lemon in the bottle, organic, do that. Or lime juice, whatever your preference, but lemon's good. It's very hydrating. It's also very alkalizing, and has lots of minerals in it. And then you could just heat some water up, put some honey in there, raw, local if you can get it, raw, unheated, untreated, not the honey bear, that's overly processed and garbage. So raw local honey if you can get it. Most grocery stores will carry raw local honey. And then you put, a tablespoon or two of lemon, and depending on your size of your cup, and you add a pinch of salt, and you put your lemon juice, and you could do honey. You could leave it at that. You could do, next step, cut some fresh ginger, put it in there. You could do ginger juice. You can get ginger juice, organic ginger juice, and add a little bit of ginger juice. Again, all these are not only just supporting you on a mineral-rich base, but they're also going to support your physical body on a cellular base, right down to the cells, and it'll also support your immune system, which you need to have boosted this time of year. The other thing I'm called to mention, if you're not doing vitamin D, again, always check with your physician, but most people are severely deficient in magnesium, some forms of magnesium, and then vitamin D. So if you are not taking high doses of vitamin D, do your research if you feel like you are called to, but vitamin D has been a game changer since I started taking it. We started taking it probably 3 or 4 years ago around the pandemic. We started taking high doses, and we boost our dose up in the winter because we are not outside. Okay, you can't get enough sunshine in the summer to shore up your vitamin D sources for the winter. I know because I live in the sun in the summer, and my vitamin D was super low when I originally had it tested years ago. So boost it up. Don't be afraid to take 10,000, 20,000, 25. Again, consult who you need to consult, but take a high quality vitamin D and make sure it's not got garbage in it. That's it's really inexpensive, and you can get it with olive oil or like MCT oil. Make sure it's not got like a dirty oil like canola oil or anything. Make sure it's like extra virgin olive oil base for the fat, or MCT oil, maybe avocado oil. I've only seen it, I think mine's with extra virgin olive oil. And start taking that in high doses through the winter, especially now, okay? Oh, wow, I didn't expect all this to come out. So again, if you're doing any medicinal mushrooms, things like chaga, lion's mane, reishi, that can be beneficial. I add wild foraged chaga to my hot chocolate the other night. Again, you can get these mushroom blends. Mushrooms are very good for everything as well. You can do your research on that. So all of these, there's just so much you can go into when you're getting into herbs and oils and things like that, and spices, and all things nices. They are very supportive, and I cycle through. But again, I've got to the point where like, okay, I need more vitamin D. Okay, I need less vitamin D, or I need more medicinal mushrooms, or I need less, or I need more maca, or I need less, or I need more of this herb, or I need less of this herb. Do you see what I'm saying? So it's like, again, just checking in with your body. Okay. So good. All right, I'm guided to pull a couple of cards before I go to finish this message. 3434 on the timer. That's 7. Yeah, 7, 7. So if you're seeing sevens, seeing sevens, make time for self-love. Again, going back to those rich days. Take your rich days. Don't wait till you're sick. Take your rich days. All right. Source, what do we have for the collective to finish off this beautiful message today? Day 26. All right, remember, you're still in the portal. You're still in the portal. And also the 12-12 portal. So you're in the portal of the super full moon, but you're also, the 12-12 portal is also opened up. And then after that, you're going to have the new moon with the 3-eye Atlas being as close to the Earth, I think, on its way back out of our system. And again, have your discernment if you're getting all caught up in all that. Just have your discernment on all of that. It is intelligent. There's intelligence there checking us out. Remember, we are very interesting here on Earth. There's a lot of beings in the system, the solar system, in the universe, that are very fascinated by us humans and what we have been going through and what we've accomplished and what we are accomplishing in this present moment. All right, Source, what do we have? Please and thank you. Step up and lead. So some of us are going to be stepping up and leading into those roles that have never existed before. Okay? All right. Step up and lead. That's new moon in Capricorn. Capricorn, you might be a Capricorn. You might be relate with the moon cycles. I flow with the moon cycles. Most women do because they cycle, but in general, the more you get tapped in to your true essence and your true self, you're going to find that you're going to flow and connect more to these portals, to these specific days like the 12-12 or the 11-11 portal, or full moons and new moons and solstices and equinoxes and things like that. All right, so we got anything else for the collective, Source, for this Moonology deck? Yep, there's that one. Oh, this is the 4th day I've pulled this card, or Sources pulled this card for you. Embrace the flow. So it's, again, surrendering, letting go, and going with the flow. Going with the flow. Be the twig on the river. Be the leaf on the river. Trust and believe and know that everything is working out in perfect harmony. Full moon in Gemini. That's the portal we're still in. So thank you, Source, for that confirmation for the collective. Let your fears dissolve. So one of the biggest things is fear, evidence of, what is it? Fears are false evidence of appearing real. False evidence of appearing real. You're holding on to some fears that you need to let go. Surrender and let go, and trust that all is well. Not that all will be, that all is well. All is well. Let go, okay? And be open up to the change, because change is here, change is coming, and change is going to continue to take place. Again, make time for self-love. These cards Source has been using these cards quite a bit for information. Make time for self-love. Making a pot of soup, having a hot coffee with some fruit, having a cup of tea in front of a virtual fireplace, taking a salt bath, hermiting, laying on the couch all day in your PJs. And trust the universe. Trust the universe. Know your worth. Know that you are worthy. Always have been, always will be. Breathe through any of the tension. So like I said, breathe, breathe, breathe. So let's do it. Let's do 3 breaths. Inhale, hand on the heart, hand in your belly. Inhale. Hold. Exhale. Empty, empty. Blow it all out. Let it go. Inhale. Source energy cleansing through the crown all the way down. Just breathe through that tension. Inhale. Hold. Exhale. Thank you for that beautiful message. Thank you for breathing and joining me today, beautiful souls. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Enjoy yourself richly. And just know that you are exactly where you were supposed to be. You are perfect. You are whole. You were healed. There's nothing wrong with you. You were never broken. And just surrender. It's a constant surrender. I love you. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.